Welcome to the historic Inner Harbor of Baltimore, Maryland. Just a stone's throw away, you find M&T Bank Stadium, the home of the Ravens. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens.
Tyler Luke to kick off for Baltimore.
Mike Tirico along with my partner Greg Oates, and that's the kicker, Tyler Luke, set to get this started. Off we go here in the Inner Harbor. The drive begins at the 20. Here's 1st and 10.
Hey, take 26. 50. Take 30. Yeah, this. Jim. 26.
A throw on the first play from Rodgers. That's complete to his running back, Kenneth Gainwell. And he's going to be out of bounds up around the 39-yard line. 19 yards right away to kick off this drive. So from the 39, they come up on 1st and 10. On the carry, this is Kenneth Gainwell. And he's going to be taken down right at midfield. Pickup of 11 yards on that one. That's a Steeler first down.
1st and 10 at the 50-yard line. Hey, 88.
Working out of the gun, it's Rodgers. Going for it all. Oh, intercepted. What a bad start on the 3rd play. Picked off by Nate Wiggins. And the Ravens are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover.
So often, Mike, defenders are just happy the ball ends up in his hands, but not this guy. I mean, the catch was one thing, but then the party really got started. I mean, look at this return. He gets one block. He gets another. He's got teammates springing him all over the field, and this offense is lucky this didn't go all the way back for a pick 6.
Now the first carry for King Henry. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more. Lost one on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. He'll go again here with Henry. And he's going to struggle to get back to the line. Maybe a yard. Keanu Benton there for the stop.
A gain of 2. Brings up
on 3rd down. Jackson forced out wide. And that is incomplete contact, but no flags. It's going to be 4th down.
And barring an aggressive decision here on 4th down, it just seemed like a really wasted possession to go 3 and out, not able to pick up a single 1st down. Not only do you not able to gain any field position advantage, it really takes a lot of the wind out of your sails as you find yourself jogging off the field and the punt team coming up.
Now Jackson on 4th down. He dives, and what a catch for the 1st down.
a gain of 12 yards. And the Baltimore 1st down. 1st and 10. It's a 12-yard
Lamar going to work from the pistol. Pass right side going to be taken in by Walker. We'll try again here. 2nd and 10.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Jackson out of the pistol. This one caught at the 4. And he'll take it on in. Rashad Bateman. Touchdown, Baltimore.
Mike, we used to have a saying that it was the responsibility of the receiver to run the route through the eyes of the quarterback. And I think this is a great example here. Two guys clearly on the same page. Quarterback expected his target to be in a certain place at a certain time. He's there, ball's delivered accurately. He's able to pick up the rest with his legs, and that's a big-time connection for the touchdown.
Steelers, nothing. Tyler Luke to kick off.
Now, after the touchdown, Luke is back out to kick this one away. On the return, it's Kenneth Gainwell. And they'll bring him down just shy of the 30-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
Get 300. Get 300. Go to 50. Hey, take 26.
Rodgers on first down. That'll be complete to Gainwell. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield.
It's a gain of 20.
Great way to start the drive. A gain of 20 and a first down.
It's a gain of 20.
The defender has to do a better job here, Mike, of getting depth. He wants to elevate that ball to give his secondary defender a chance to make a play. He gets too much width, not enough depth, and a quarterback like this is going to take advantage.
And he'll work forward for about 3. It's second down.
He's across midfield with a 48-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. Second and 6.
319.
From the gun, Rodgers. Room to maneuver at the 35. And he'll be out of bounds inside the 30-yard line.
19 yards.
Second time they've connected on this drive. And 19 yards out of this one.
First and 10 at the 29-yard
A fresh set of downs to work with. It is first down and 10.
319.
We are through one. 7-0 is our score. We'll be back in Baltimore after this. The Steelers with the football to begin the second quarter as they've got it with first and 10.
Jump out. Back north. 50.
Now Gainwell. And that'll go for a gain of about 4. Tackled there by Trenton Simpson.
Tackle made at the 24-yard line. A gain of 5 brings up
From the 24 now, here is second and 5.
258. Hey, take 26. Take 30.
From the shotgun, it's A-Rod. And he's going to be brought down just outside the 10-yard line.
It's a gain of 14.
Number 14 with a pickup of 14. And a first down.
I always think you can tell pretty quickly how comfortable a quarterback is in their offense, Mike, by how fast they work through their progression and get the ball to their check down underneath. And in this case, with the depth of the defense, a lot of space in the short game, get them the ball, pick up the first down.
Hey, 88. 80. This.
A-Rod down to throw on first down. To the right side and corralled by Thielen. And he's not going to get too far, tackled after a gain of just a yard.
Second and 8 at the 8-yard line.
Two minutes remain. First half in a 7-0 game. We'll come back to Baltimore after this. Looking to throw, it's Rodgers. I had a defender draped all over him, incomplete. Good work to body him up and set up a third down.
He's got to find a way to hold on to that one. I mean, you're right on the doorstep of the end zone. And listen, I understand that hit is coming. But guess what? That hit's coming whether you catch it or not. And you get paid to make the difficult catches. And I would classify that one as tough, but you got to make that catch. Give your team a chance to come away with this drive with some points. I think this is one of those plays that when the ball carrier watches this back in the film room tomorrow, he's going to be a little frustrated with himself. If he could just have made that one guy miss, he picks up the first down. Instead, he gets brought down short of the sticks, and now they got a fourth down decision to make.
Oswell's kick is good, and the Steelers are on the board just before halftime.
It's always a little bit of a letdown, Mike. You find yourself deep in the red zone, and you have to settle for a short field goal like that. In this case, he's able to put it through, and they get 3.
Tylan Wallace now on the return. Good job in coverage. They're going to get him down short of the 20-yard line.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Steelers going to use one of their timeouts, and they'll get a chance to catch their breath over on the sideline.
DC, ready? It's not! What?
A first down throw for Jackson. That's complete. It's Justice Hill out of the backfield.
A bit of a quick hitter here, and what you're hoping for, Mike, is that the defense can't react quickly enough because the ball's coming out so hot. But they knew it was coming, and they end up holding him to just a short gain.
He is hit before he can get rid of it, and down he goes. Now the Ravens use their first timeout. Talk things over before third down.
And it looked like that zone coverage had his head a little bit spinning there, Mike. I'm not sure he got a real clear picture of what the defense was giving him, and as a result, he holds the ball a little bit longer than he would have liked, and the defense is able to get home.
Left side, caught by Andrews. And he'll be stopped short of a first down, and that will necessitate a call to the punt team. It's fourth down. On fourth down, they snap it to Jackson. That is caught. He finds Walker. And he's going to have the Ravens first down. They come up with a big one there to keep the drive moving, and then some. Forced out left. Now, deep ball for Bateman. This one broken up. It's incomplete. The defender right there with him. It brings up second down. Rashad Bateman, the intended target. And it'll lead to a second down.
DC, ready? Ready.
Jackson fires complete to Flowers. And he'll be out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. Jackson on target to Flowers, and it's a Baltimore first down.
Really nice job there, Mike. I mean, he sees the blitz coming and just gets the ball out of his hands. Understand where your outlets are. It results in an easy pitch and catch and move the chains.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but they are in the red zone, inside the 20. That's his third catch of this first half, and good enough for a first down.
This is a great example here of just not getting too complicated as an offensive coordinator. Who's one of your best players on the field, and how do you get the ball in his hands?
Sit up! Sit up!
Here's the give to Henry running right. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one. Play action now. Jackson. Now a signal, timeout called. 9 seconds left to play in this first half.
A 7-yard loss.
That last sack is exactly why defensive coaches preach over and over. Just play the next down. Just continue to make them snap the ball again. You're one big defensive play from changing everything about this drive, and what once looked like a promising drive, following that sack, looks a little bit different now.
Third and long for Jackson. To the goal line and in. Rashad Bateman. Touchdown, Baltimore. He's got another one. His second touchdown of the evening.
You hear coaches, you hear commentators, everybody talks about that middle four, Mike, the final 2 minutes of the second quarter and the first 2 minutes of the third quarter. Here they are now. They go down and they steal a late touchdown to end the half. Remember, they're going to get the ball first coming out of the break.
He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line. Operating from their own 23, they'll begin first and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he's going to be taken down as time runs out on this first half of play.
Chris Boswell to kick off.
Both teams ready to get back at it as we get back underway here on EA Sports. This returnable for Wallace. And he's down at the 23, and that's where the offense will take over.
23-yard line.
On first and 10, Jackson. That's to the right side. He's got Andrews. And he's going to be out of bounds, but up past the 35. Give him 14 on that play. One first down. Line of scrimmage is the 37-yard line for first and 10. Open man is Bateman. He's got him. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield. He had 2 touchdowns earlier. Looking to see what he can do here in this second half. That grab gets them a first down. From the gun, Jackson. He's got his tight end. It's Andrews. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a first down completion of 7 yards.
Second and 2 at the 35-yard line.
On the give, here's Henry. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And that's it.
Right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
Third and short, Jackson. And that is incomplete.
But here we find the best laid plans sometimes do go astray. Every offense, Mike, what do they tell us? We want to stay ahead of the chains. We want to stay on schedule. This was a third and very reasonable. Incomplete on that third down try. Now brings up fourth and short.
A field goal, no gimme from this distance. They'll go on fourth down. In motion comes Andrews. Fourth down, Jackson. Oh, the blitz gets there. He is sacked. And they turn it over on down.
All right, Mike, so in this situation, a defensive coordinator has 2 options. You can sit back and play the pass, or you can be aggressive and go after the quarterback. In this case, they chose the latter, and that's why they were able to force the turnover on downs.
Hey, 620. Excellent.
First down for Aaron. He finds Austin with the grab. And he's going to be out of bounds at the 41. 18 yards. And a great way to start the drive. It's a first down.
Whatever they've talked about in the locker room at the halftime break seems to have worked. They've come out with a new established energy. You could see it when they took the field. Now this offense seems to be building on it because with that chunk play, just a little bit of rhythm that they can build off of. They got a long way to go to get back into this game, but so far off to a good start.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Open man downfield is Freiermuth. And they are in great shape. He's taken down inside the 10. Big play after big play to start this drive. 34 for that one.
At the 8-yard line.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. It's 1st and goal now from just inside the 10-yard line. And he can't hang on through the contact. Incomplete. Good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. It'll bring up 2nd down. They'll throw again. Here's Rodgers. The 2nd down throw is incomplete.
For the most part, he's been very accurate with the ball. I mean, he's completing over 60% of his passes, but because they haven't been able to get any big explosive plays, continue to push the ball downfield, hasn't really translated on the scoreboard just yet.
3rd and goal for Aaron Rodgers. That's going to be broken up in the end zone. Incomplete. There was no space to fit that one in. And now here comes 4th and goal.
I just don't like the look of this passing game, Mike. It just seems a bit erratic. On top of the 2 straight incompletions, they've already turned the ball over through the air. And truthfully, with how dangerous some of these throws have been, they're lucky it hasn't been even more.
The offense will stay out there, but they've got some yards to pick up. 4th down and goal. Again, it's Rodgers. That's going to be caught. And this is not going to be enough. He is short. To the marker. They turn it over on down.
Well, that was a disaster. I like the call. I like going for it on 4th down. Give your offense a chance to extend this drive and maintain possession, but after going the wrong way, now they're going to have to watch the other team take over after failing to move the chains.
It's a 3 tight end look as they have it 1st and 10. Back near his goal line. Jackson throwing off his back foot, and it's taken in. And an important gain there as they move out past the 20-yard line. That's a gain of 21 to open this drive.
At the 24-yard line.
Off the play fake. Jackson. The blitz overwhelms the offensive line, and down he goes.
It's a 10-yard loss.
The defensive coaches, they preached all week, Mike. They have to have relentless pursuit of this quarterback when he tries to extend the play. So often it results in a great play for the offense and a big pickup. This time, because of that pursuit, it leads to a big loss.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. Out of the gun, here's a give to Henry. And Not much there. Good defense. Held to no gain.
Behind the line of scrimmage.
What can they do here? This is third and forever. In the shotgun, here's Jackson. Now, deep ball for Bateman. And that is incomplete. But a penalty flag is down. Let's see who they got. Let's see what they do here. This is 4th and long.
Hey! Shut up, you! Hey, hey! What a shot! 180! What a shot! You change it. What a shot!
They do indeed snap as they'll try and throw. And that'll be incomplete on what turns out to be the final play of this third quarter. Rodgers on first down. That's outside to Warren. After the catch, he gets that forward for a gain of 9. Second and inches.
It's second and inches. At the 3.
From the gun, Rodgers. That's hauled in at the 2. And he will score. Game on. Jaylen Warren. Touchdown Steelers. Greg, they are pecking away at this one now. Very big touchdown. Gets them right within reach of pulling this comeback off.
Well, Mike, at the very least, they've given themselves a chance. But can they get a stop and get the ball back again?
And he will get into the end zone. The 2-point conversion is successful. And game on. Lead is down to 3 here in the fourth quarter. So they've cut into the lead. Now just a field goal behind as they kick it off. This returnable for Wallace. And he'll be out of bounds on the return. And the drive will begin there.
At their own 24-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 24.
13.
They'll start out on the ground with Henry. And he'll plow forward for a gain of 4 yards. Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd and 6. Gonna go right back to Henry. And he's followed up after a gain of a yard. 3rd down, they need 5.
30-yard line. A gain of a yard. Brings up 3rd and 5.
No, we changed it.
On the handoff, it's Henry. A gain there of 16 yards. Good for a Ravens 1st down.
That's good for a Baltimore 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Here's Henry. This time the sledding becomes a little more difficult. They're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
He was tackled at the 46-yard line. A gain of a yard.
They'll try to throw here with Jackson. Now a screen set up for Henry. And they'll hold him to a gain of just a couple, and it sets up 3rd down.
A gain of 2 brings up 3rd and 7.
So, 2 minutes to play here in the 2nd half. Greg and I back for the conclusion in a moment. What can they do here on 3rd down and 7? They'll drop to throw. This one complete to Bateman. A pickup there of 13. 1st down, Baltimore.
13 yards on the play. And the Baltimore 1st down.
Jackson looking to throw. Oh, and a pressure there. He can't get a throw away. And he's taken down. The Steelers going to use one of their timeouts. And they'll get together prior to the 2nd down play.
Report! 180! 13, sit up! 180! Sit up!
Play action now. Jackson escaping to his left. That's going to be incomplete. Good work by the defender. Bodied his man up. Wouldn't allow the catch. It'll force 3rd down. Zay Flowers, the intended receiver. And 3rd down coming up.
Forward. It's on! 180! It's on!
Throwing Jackson. On the move left. This one. Downfield looking for Henry. Oh, do you believe it? It's intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And the Steelers are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line. Here's 1st and 10.
Look at the hey, take 26. The 50. Zoom. Hey, 88. Back one. Box it.
On the shotgun, it's Aaron. That one incomplete. The defender right there to make the play. And it's 2nd down.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
Look at the 8. Come out. Inside. Teammate.
Now Pittsburgh will bang a timeout here. That's their 2nd. As it comes with 1:25 left to go in the contest. Here's 2nd down.
Take 30. Run it. 318.
Throwing again from his own end zone. He's got Freiermuth open on the left side. And they'll get about 8 out of that one, but still a little work to do now on 3rd down.
So the hope is when you call these underneath drag routes, you're trying to have your tight end come out the backside of the defense in space. So when you put the ball on him early, it leads to big yards after the catch. In this case, they don't get the real big play they were hoping for, but they'll definitely take it.
That is incomplete. Here we go. They're down to what could be their final play. It's 4th down. Rodgers going up top again. And I had to take a chance on 4th down, and it's intercepted. Picked off by T.J. Tampa.
Rodgers pass.
Well, a touchdown here could be the capper to a victory. It is 1st and goal.
Hey. Cut.
Here's a run. Nothing there. He is fortunate just to get back to the line. Now it's 2nd and goal.
It's a gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and
Jackson. That one to the sideline is over everybody. But now a penalty flag will come in. They may get him for grounding. Third and goal.
You turned it.
From the gun, Jackson. Moving to his left. This is caught at the 2. And he'll be taken down. We'll see if they want to use that final timeout or not, but things are pretty much spoken for. Now Jackson on 4th down. He'll try and set up the screen to Hill. And he's not going anywhere. Stuffed behind the line. They have turned it over on downs.
These are the opportunities when they present themselves, you have to capitalize. And in this case, it was the defense that forced the turnover on downs and kept them out of the end zone.
Number 50, hey, you block over here. Hey, 88. Hey, check 26 inside. Back north.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. That is incomplete, so the task gets more difficult. Time for maybe 2 plays. That's it.
And at this stage of the game, it's both teams that are really seeing who can make the big play to swing the game in their favor. And this time, it's the defense. He's able to get his hands on it. Mike, I think they're lucky he wasn't able to get both hands on it because it could have been even a bigger play.
2nd down, Rodgers. He's going to air one out for Metcalf. That is brought in. A great connection there. They're going to bring it down inside the 35-yard line. Now, timeout called. Let's see, you're looking at a long field goal try from here. This might be one final heave to the end zone. This is 1st and 10.
319. Get 300. Get 300. Yeah, this. Jim. Number 50. Hey, you block over here. Number 50. 319.
Here we go. One final play. That's deep for the back of the end zone. And that is incomplete. They took the end zone shot of the final play. It's a heartbreaking finish, as this one will come to an end. So it's a win here for the Ravens. They proved much the best in this one. Get a solid performance in all 3 phases of the game and ride that to victory. So that'll do it for us. For Greg Olson and our terrific team behind the scenes, I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Follow us.
At the convergence of the Ohio, Allegheny, and Monongahela Rivers, we're in the football town of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania at Acrisure Stadium. Coming up, a contest that looks real good on paper between the Carolina Panthers and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Chris Boswell to kick off.
Ball is teed up. Chris Boswell to do the honors. And we're off from Acrisure. Trevor Etienne to return this. We'll have decent field position to begin with here. Rockies tackle. Beyond that 30-yard line.
The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
Ready?
All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10.
Ready, ready. 10 cycles. 10 black. Hut, hut.
They'll start on the ground. Dowdle. And he has enough room to gain about 4. Goes to the hurry up here.
Right, 97.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Hut, hut.
Young on the play action. An all-around tough play for him. He took a shot on the release, and it definitely affected the throw, but it's incomplete.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
Ready.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down.
Let's go. Ready.
Here's the give to Dowdle. A disappointing way to begin this one as he is stopped for no gain, and 3 plays in, Brock. They're already facing 4th down.
No gain on the play.
Job one of so many D tackles in this league is eat up space. Don't get moved off your spot. But the difference makers, they just not only eat the space, they eat those runners too.
So here we go. This is that aggressive mindset they've been talking about. They're going for it here.
Dip, red, 38. Ready.
4th down. Here's Young. And it's a turnover to begin their game. That's incomplete on 4th, and it's going to go over on downs.
Kate, I don't know what the punter did to hurt people's feelings because I think the reasoning was pretty clear. They were going to go for it. There's not going to be a punter that touched the field. Not an advisable mindset now as they turn it over in their end of the field.
26. Slant. Hey, check 26.
First play, and Rodgers letting it rip. Finds his back, Jalen Warren. And he's taken out of bounds as he gets it down near the red zone. The end result there, 15 yards and a first.
The analytics will tell you a handful of these kind of plays per game, and your odds per drive of scoring go way up.
First down, here's Rodgers. Caught by Warren out of the backfield. And he's going to be dropped with a big hit at the end of that. But the effort still sets him up with a 1st and goal.
A play like this, that's exactly where you want to get him the ball. Right on the outside, where he's got the space and a lot more room to work.
58. Back north.
From the red zone now. Caught Touchdown, Pittsburgh. The Steelers get a perfect start. They've gone up 6-0. So our first score of the game here as they cap off that drive with a touchdown.
It's really what you're looking for, Kate, offensively. You want to force the other guys into thinking they need to play a little catch-up right away. So a nice job to get that first score and take early control of this game.
Chris Boswell, the kickoff for
Now Boswell on to send this away. On the return, here comes Xavier Legette. Ooh, poor effort there. He only gets it to the 15 before he's taken down.
at their own 15-yard line.
Offense to the line. They're going to have trips right to start out.
Let's go now. Yellow, 22. Hey, green. Green jack.
To the air on first down. Young. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
Okay, ready?
No luck on first down. Here's 2nd and 10.
Ready. Red, blue, 32. Ready.
Young working from the gun. Escapes the pocket. Moving right. Airs it out down the sideline. Really pushing the envelope on 2nd down, but the deep shot doesn't work.
You know they're going to keep giving him looks, keep calling pass plays. You cannot survive a game without a completion, but the results so far, yeah, they've been a little bit rough.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here.
Set, ready. Rail. Block 40. Hut, hut.
Air it out on 3rd. Vacates quickly left side. He's loaded another one up. Oh, and he can't follow through. He had the deep shot for a moment, Brock, but he bobbled it and drops it. Now we get a timeout by the Panthers. It's their first. And after using an early one, 2 left for him to spend. Three straight passes have hit the ground, but here we go. They're going for it on 4th.
Set, two. Ready, ready. 10 black. Needle blue.
They're going for it. Young. He finds it beyond the marker. He has it all the way inside the opposing 40.
Jackrabbit. Jackrabbit.
Offense in the hurry up here.
First down.
Men, men.
10 at the 39-yard line.
Claude Ray. Ready?
Again, it's Young. Well, the pressure nearly got to him, but still a good play defensively as that one falls incomplete.
Well, that's like a good peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It takes both to make it work. And defensively, you've got to have that pressure up front. That's peanut butter. And then you like to have some jelly. And that was almost a huge play with an interception.
To the air, yet again. Young. Pressure's there, and he goes down again. And that pushes him back. 3rd down coming up.
Sometimes I wish everybody could feel what that feels like. When you're a QB and you just feel the air in the pocket getting sucked out and you know there's no escape, it can be just one heck of a deflating feeling. Not for that defense who puts a sack on the board.
3rd and long for him here. Got a man. This is Evans. To the house. Touchdown, Carolina. The Panthers reach pay dirt for the first time this game. You love seeing a tight end get the chance to show off those wheels, right? And in the best of cases, he could rumble the whole way home.
Kate, think of getting somebody with that type of mass rolling at full speed. Who's really going to want to stand in the way, wants to stop him anyhow? The answer, nobody.
Nothing doing on that two-point opportunity. A fail on the conversion. First touchdown of the game for them, partner, and immediately they go for two. That feels like an analytics-based decision there.
Can I just tell you, I'm kind of tired of analytics. I am. I'm tired of falling on analytics when it fails. Oh, the process was right. Oh, we just didn't get the result. No, I don't like that decision this early in the game. You're going to be chasing that decision in those points.
And he got all of that one out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
First and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Good field position as the Steelers come up to it. First and 10.
319.
Now a shotgun handoff to Gainwell. And he has it right near midfield here. It's about a yard short. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs.
That's good for a Steelers first down. First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
They will not get another play off. We're at the end of one. The Steelers have played to an early lead. More from Acrisure Stadium after the break. Second quarter, all queued up and ready to go. It's Steeler football. They've got first and 10 here, looking to add to their lead. Rodgers from the gun. That'll be incomplete to start the new set of downs. Well, he connected on 3 straight before that throw, Brock. Might not be perfect anymore on this drive, but they are still moving it well.
And I don't expect that one to interrupt his progress very long. They're still on a mission this series, and he's the one driving it.
Hey, 88.
Working out of the gun. Here's Rodgers. Into the hands of Pat Freiermuth. And he fights his way down to the 35 before the defense can get him out. It's a great pickup, 16 yards, and now they've got first down.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
They've got first down here from the 36. From the shotgun, here's Rodgers. Now be caught by Adam Thielen. He's going to be stopped, but not before dealing some damage. He's down to the 12. Give him 24 yards on that one. And the Steelers have a first down.
I'll be honest with you, Kate. As you grow and develop as a quarterback, your arm gets stronger. These comebacks can be one of your favorite throws in your arsenal. Because if you trust yourself and you throw it before that defender breaks, you know there's yards to be had on the perimeter.
Plant.
From the gun, a give to Gainwell. And he scampers ahead and gets 2 on the carry.
It'll be this group's job watching the film to find all these plays. The ones that amount to really very little statistically and identify what was needed to just make them a little bigger, stretch them further. Afterthought plays now, they could be the big gains of next week.
8 yards to go. Well, let's see how they approach this second down.
58.
They stick with Gainwell. And whatever they were trying to do there is not going to work. Defenders all over it, so they take him down for a loss. Now the Panthers decide to spend their third and final timeout. And we'll see how this plays out the rest of this half with none remaining. This drive in some serious trouble. It's 3rd and 12.
58.
Here he goes, 3rd and long. Throws caught. And that's a solid stop there to limit the damage. Gave up some, but it's still 4th down.
I know that completion doesn't move the chains, but I love it nonetheless. You make sure that defense is aware of every eligible player going out, and this time it was out of the backfield with a running back that shows he's adept at catching it as well.
So that's going to take us, Brock, to our 2-minute warning of this first half. The Steelers leading the way here in Acrisure. Only 2 yards to the marker, and they're going for it here on 4th.
Go! 60 Bison, 60 Bison. Cougar 19. Check go.
Made it on the keeper. He's not going to get there. They hold him out of the end zone, Carter, but it is still going to keep this offense on the field. They've got a 1st and goal.
Some tough running from the leader of the offense right there. Didn't have a ton of room, but he made it work well enough to move those chains.
58. Done.
Warren is in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. The Steelers blow their lead just before halftime. So this solid first half continues for them. They're into the end zone to extend their advantage.
And I think if you're a head coach here, Kate, you've got to be very happy with the effort so far. They've come out strong. They've been the ones dictating the tempo, and as a result, they add to the scoreboard.
Now Boswell on to send this away. He gets with a return here. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20.
1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Offense showing trips out right as they get set for this 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Young. Bails out of the pocket quick. He's looking back, right side. Good coverage on that deep ball downfield. Throw knocked away, and that's going to send him back to the line for 2nd.
Well, I'll tell you what that deflection is all about is following the quarterback's eyes. DB knew where that throw was going. With that intuition, he's able to get a hand on it and send it right out of bounds.
The Steelers calling their first time out as they'll meet and decide what to do on this 2nd down.
Ready. 10 front. Ready.
Shotgun snap now to Young. He's trying to go deep again. Had the window to go deep, but just couldn't make it happen. Now it's 3rd down.
That's what I call complementary defense right there. That pressure by the group up front that leads to the incompletion and to the benefit of that secondary.
So after that prior incompletion, it's 3rd down.
Let's go now. 6. Mega. 52 blue. Black shot.
3rd and long. They're going to throw. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Well-timed strike by that defender to knock it free. So that brings up 4th and long.
That one really stings, Kate, because you want to convert there and not only keep this drive going for points, but because now you're giving your opponent a chance to go pad that lead before halftime. That's a no-no.
Down. 56.
Trying on this 4th down. It's Young. He can't get away. They get the sack and force a turnover on down.
Well, this one never had a chance. Between the pressure right there in his face and the coverage downfield, quarterback still should have at least thrown it up there and given somebody an opportunity to make a play.
Starting out trips right here. 1st and 10.
Look at the eight. Shoulder.
Blitz coming for Rodgers. And the Panthers are just too much here. They're going to take him down. And the drive begins with a rough first step there. That's going to bring up 2nd down.
We've got enough data now through the years to understand that an explosive play on offense, more often than not, leads to scoring. We also know if you can create a negative play defensively. In a tightly contested game like this, every play matters. And to get that negative play, put this offense on their heels, exactly what this defense needed.
To throw, Rodgers. And that's a Pittsburgh touchdown. The Steelers will add to their lead at the end of the half. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns. It has been wash, rinse, repeat for them offensively, Brock, as, well, we all wait for this defense to find a little backbone before this becomes a runaway.
Yeah, I'm a little torn up here in this booth because you're exactly right. Offensively, this is just machine. Surgical. Defensively, you're running the risk of being embarrassed here pretty quickly.
Now Boswell on to send this away. He gets with a return here. And he's out of bounds, approaching the 25. A couple yards short at the 23. They've got blackjack on the clock. Not a ton of time to use before halftime. On play action, here's Young. And this won't be caught. Clock is going to stop. We've got 14 seconds to go. Just couldn't hang on through the contact. So it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was almost one of those nice chunk plays you like to see in the NFL, Kate, before he was able to recover and provide the hit and ultimately dislodge the football. You like to see that physical edge and scrappiness to contest any kind of shot plays down the field.
He's trying to push the field. He's got it deep downfield. And he has this to the opposing 35.
That's good for a Panthers.
Offense up to the line fast.
A gain of 42 yards on the play. And the Panthers first down.
That's halftime of this contest. We'll join both teams in taking a short break. More of the NFL on EA Sports in just a moment. Shades of the 2009 Super Bowl. They're going onside kick to begin the 2nd half. And this is recovered by the Steeler hands team. And they get there to take him down right around the 41. Offense into the shotgun set as they line this up. 1st and 10.
26. Hey, 88. Yeah, this.
Here's Rodgers. Austin makes the grab downfield. He's got his guys into the red zone before someone can force him out. It's a 24-yard gash, and it gives them the 1st down.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap 1st down.
All set now. 1st and 10.
18.
Shotgun handoff to Warren. Can't slip that initial tackle. Stops made for no gain on that 1st down play.
These big D tackles in this league, they love weaponizing their size right in the middle of the field. It is so hard to clear lane against him. And once he got his paw on him, it was dead on arrival.
Trying to throw this from the gun. Completed to his running back. And into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. The Steelers grow the lead coming out of halftime.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Carolinas and Bank of America Stadium here in Uptown Charlotte. Straight ahead, we've got a pretty good one on tap here, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Carolina Panthers. Set to go now on a beautiful sunny afternoon. And off we go from Uptown Charlotte. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
First and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. To throw is Rodgers. And he rifles one incomplete.
I think we see more than trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7.
30, 319.
First carry for Kenneth Gainwell. And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Have to give credit for a nice play there, but also have to look at it as a blown assignment. He became a free runner that turned into a free hitter.
So still a scoreless game in the first, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on 4th down.
88. Over.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. Here's a diving catch right side. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
Every play is supposed to get a player's best effort. But on 4th down, that really increases the stakes, doesn't it? What about that catch?
Heck of an effort picking up the first.
And now that team has to be motivated going forward. They just saw a great effort there. They want to make sure it pays off.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was his first target of the game, and it's going to take at least one more target to get him on the board. Took a nice substantial hit to jar that catch loose from him. Incomplete pass.
2nd and 10.
26. 26.
Rodgers now to throw. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 32-yard line. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice, sustained series to begin the game, and it will continue after picking up another first there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock.
Now Rodgers. Open man, once again, it's Thielen. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Adam Thielen, 31 yards. And the Steelers will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers.
Makes the score Steelers 7, Panthers 0. Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Looking to put a drive together.
Ready. 50, green.
Off the play fake, Young. And that's going to be incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
Ready.
Young's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10.
Yellow, zoom. Black 40. Drill green. Set.
They'll drop the throw. That's taken in. It's Xavier Legette. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Yellow, 22.
Young now. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big play that time on a catch and run. And it'll move the chains.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's first and 10. Down at the 31.
Blue, 32. Set.
Young quickly to the flat. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
33-yard line.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12.
Here we go. Here we go. 10 black. Ready?
Now Young. He'll get this to his running back, Dowdle. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. So the completion good for just 3. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
Here we go. Set. Cut.
Here's Young. That one complete to Leggett. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Here's Ryan Fitzgerald to try the field goal. From the right hash. This from 48. And this one is right down the middle. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
And a good effort up the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Nick Scorton. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
319.
Now run straight ahead with Warren. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. Two minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. Here is third and quite a ways.
Number 50, 58.
Rodgers going to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Partner, we've got ourselves a ball game, and those guys on defense, they came to play. Slipped up on their first series, but they're definitely settling in now and letting it be known that points won't come so easy again.
Now it's Horn. A nice punt, but a good run back as well, 13 yards. And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10.
33-yard line.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
To throw, Young. He'll dump this one off to Hubbard. Now he's loose down the left sideline. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Chuba Hubbard, 67 yards. And the Panthers have taken the lead. Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead is now 10-7. Following the touchdown, this is Fitzgerald now to send this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Shotgun now for Rodgers. A short one there to Freiermuth. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage. So timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
To throw, it's Rodgers. And he finds Austin complete. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it'll be 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing now is Rodgers. And that'll be dumped off to Gainwell. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Rodgers to throw once more. Now, quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
20, take 30. Hey, take 26.
A final shot before half for Rodgers. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break.
Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
A good, tight football game thus far. 10-7 the score as we resume action on EA Sports. Oh, look at the juke. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Here we go. Field, black, 95. Cut.
Young. Pressure comes and down he goes. Cam Hayward, always a force, got back there for the sack.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball gets super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this third quarter. And Pittsburgh with 6 defensive backs in the game here on 3rd down.
Set. 50, green. Set.
Looking to throw, Young. Now he's going to step up and run. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Young scrambling and able to pick up the first with his legs.
He's been patient this entire game, waiting for the perfect moment to surprise them with a quarterback keeper. There he catches him off guard and converts his first rush of the game into a first down. Gotta love that efficiency.
Let's go now. Ready?
Young. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. Well, we've seen how this quarterback can beat you with his legs. Saw it earlier on this drive, as a matter of fact. But that time, they had him covered.
They really gave him no place to escape, because oftentimes they're able to find a crack, a sliver, anything that can get them upfield. On that occasion, nothing open at all, and they swarmed him.
On the run, it's Dowdle. And he's going to take this all the way down to the Steelers' 30. It's a gain of 35.
At halftime, you had to feel like the defense had to be in a good position. They had to feel good about themselves. They'd had this guy boxed in all game long, but after that run, that might be the breakthrough that he's looking for. Now they may have some difficulty dealing with him the rest of today.
Blue striker. Let's go. Ready.
Young off the play fake. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had it and dropped it. That is an unforced error there, and it takes away what could have been a touchdown.
And this was a little bit of the knock on him coming out of college. Sometimes the concentration could wander a bit. This should have been a big play, but somehow he's not able to corral it.
Short throw hauled in by Trimble. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
The coach is always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting into the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Okay,
ready? Hit your tight end. Let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
52 blue. Ready?
They run here with Dowdle. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the third quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Ready. 33, yellow. Set.
Now Young. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. So the scoring dried up here in the third. Nothing that quarter for either side. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Ball resting on the 10-yard line. It's 2nd and 1.
Here we go, set. Blue, 32. Hut, hut.
A running play, it's Dowdle. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That's a loss of 8 yards there to bring up third.
The safety position continues to evolve into a bigger role in run defense than in the past. They certainly love to have him drop down and get aggressive in bringing ball carriers down behind the line of scrimmage. Not many bigger stops than that one right there.
3rd down, Young from the gun. He's got his target. That's complete. And the Panthers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
Ready. Yellow, 43. Green jack.
Young will set to throw. He's got it for a Panther touchdown. Tommy Trimble from 8 yards out. And the Panthers will add to their 4th quarter lead. On is Fitzgerald now for the PAT. It's good to make it 17-7.
Makes the score Panthers 17. Steelers 7.
Following the touchdown, this is Fitzgerald now to send this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
First and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. Throwing is Rodgers. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Rodgers now to throw. That's caught. It's Kenneth Gainwell.
That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. Through the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
And it is caught. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. All 3 timeouts remain, but they've got to score quick. It's 1st and 10.
319, 26. Jump out.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this one is incomplete.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Now Rodgers. On the throw, let him too much that time. It's incomplete.
That was one they needed to connect on. They're down, but not quite out. So you have to figure, with under 2 minutes to play, they need to hit on something in very short order.
258, 50. Hey, 626. Plant. Go to 50. Hey, you block over here. Inside.
To throw is Rodgers. Able to throw the open man. That's complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 35.
24 yards. That's good for the Steelers. First down.
88.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
30.
Rodgers to throw. A short one there to Freiermuth. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Back to throw, Rodgers. That's caught. It's Austin left side. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
That's another Steelers first down. First and goal at the 7-yard line.
Here we go. First and goal.
258. Back north.
And again, it's Rodgers. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
Second and goal.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Take 26.
To throw is Rodgers. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down.
And now the focus is really clear. They need to get that first down and either get out of bounds or maybe use one of those timeouts.
This crowd doing all they can. Here's third and goal.
Outside. Hey, 88. Box it.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Here it is, 4th and goal. Now Rodgers, gotta have this one. A great open field tackle is going to stop him shy of the goal line. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a play in the catch.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game.
Ready, break.
Now 2nd and 9. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
And they'll run it here. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. Now whistles and a timeout call here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. And from their own end zone, it's a fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. So this one is over. A victory for Carolina.
Well, on one side of this, Charles, an impressive victory. On the other, I mean, you think about it, they scored in the first quarter, but then they didn't score in quarters 2, 3, or 4. They're going to have a lot of work to do before stepping back on the field.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting tape to analyze, won't it? Because why did it work in the first quarter, but nothing in quarters 2, 3, and 4? So we always talk about adjustments. You don't just wait till halftime. You do it series to series. They'll be working on that in preparation for their next game.